Let's go!
Both bound out of their corner. Wild right hand early from Uulu. Buist looking for that Dutch Muay Thai kickboxing technique. Takedown attempt from Uulu. Posts up on the right arm, does Buist, prevents it, but not the second attempt.
Yeah, with that body lock, it's really hard to stop an athlete, especially if they have the 2 underhooks. So that's what immediately Emilbek Uulu went to. He got those tight body lock and he dragged him to the ground. Now he's in side control here. Good job by Buist to get that leg in, work his way back into half guard. Now he needs to try to get up off his back. He needs to take that right arm, dig that underhook, turn onto his left side, and start working his way up. Emilbek might give him a little bit of space here to drop a little bit of the ground and pound. You can see him framing with the shoulder, trying to do a little shoulder bump. But if he's going to want to do more ground and pound, he's going to have to try to posture up, and that's going to create a little bit of space, and that's where I expect Buist to create movement.
As we said earlier, Buist training alongside 2-division world champion Renia de Ridder.
You can see the bottom game of Buist is very active. He's trying to shove that right arm down to possibly look for a triangle. Good job by Emilbek to keep that balance, to keep his hips nice and controlled in center. You can see how Buist has a butterfly hook on his left side, how his leg is on the inside. He's going to try to use that to elevate, create that space. Emilbek is really tight on top. He's creating a lot of pressure with his shoulders, trying to step over the guard, create that movement. You can see how Buist is throwing down his left arm, looking for a possible triangle, but Emilbek has got a good smothering top game.
It was an early takedown from Emilbek Uulu that enabled this position for the Kyrgyzstan fighter. What does Buist do off his back here, Dragon?
He's trying to control that arm. See how he's trying to shove that arm down? But it's not really going to do a lot because he can't really threaten with a triangle because his leg is trapped on the inside of his legs. Buist might be just trying to create a little bit of movement here, a little bit of space, but also what he's doing by framing that hand is he's stopping the ground and pound coming.
Lightweight division amongst the most heated in all of one championship. Okray Yun, the champion, Christian Lee, Timofey Nastukin, Eddie Alvarez, Tagi Aslanaliev. Lots of big names. And these two would love to be in that top 5 amongst the elite.
Buist trying to get his back up against that wall, trying to work his way up, but a nice little spin off to the side there by Buist. Now you can see the handcuff that Emilbek Uulu has right there. He's got that left hand trapped behind the arm. Buist was able to get it free. Now he's going to a gable grip up top, looking for a possible sweep here, but he can't really sweep him that way. See, he's trying to, because of that hook and the gable grip that he's got, he could sweep him to his right, but the wall's in the way, so there's not a lot of place for Emilbek Uulu to go. Buist needs to maybe put his feet on the hips, push him away, work his way back up. He doesn't want to let this first 5 get away from him like this.
Buist has got those big bobsleds for feet, the Dutchman. Towering 190 centimeters at lightweight. Foot on hips here, tries to push him off, create some space. But Emilbek Uulu staying glued to him, Dragon.
Yeah, you see the way Emilbek Uulu grabbed the hand? So Buist tried to post with his right hand to work his way up the wall, but Emilbek Uulu grabbed his hand, sucked it away, turned him off of the wall, and kept his back flat on the mat. Very smart wall wrestling coming from Emilbek Uulu right now. Buist has got to create a little bit more urgency here. He has to try to create these scrambles, try to create these movements, but now he might be giving up his back. Yup. Look at that, he tried to turn. A lot of top pressure coming from Ruslan right now as he threatens the rear naked choke. Buist should be okay here. He's used to having RDR on his back, so you know his back control defense is pretty solid.
What can Emilbek Uulu do with the back of Pieter Buist? 40 seconds remaining. First round of 3 of this lightweight contest. All part of one championship, next Gen 3.
Interesting. See how Buist has the left arm trapped under his arm, and then also he reached across with his left hand to grab the right hand of Emilbek Uulu. Tricky defense coming from Buist, but Buist has got to move. He's got to try to turn in. He could turn here, possibly get away. It's a nasty fast face crank though. See how his jaw is turning like that? That's a lot of pressure on his jaw.
Final seconds to survive this for Pieter Buist. The crank on from Emilbek Uulu. And Buist is going to see the siren here. He does. We move into the second round. It will start from the standing position, which Pieter will enjoy. He certainly didn't enjoy his time on the floor with Emilbek Uulu.
Wow, that was an impressive round from Ruslan, Emilbek Uulu. It all started with this. He got that body lock, went after the trip. See how he chained those trips together? Took you to the left, took you to the right, got you where you wanted. Dominant top game coming from Ruslan. And then he got that neck crank. This is a great way to finish the round. Really just put a stamp on that first 5 minutes to say, hey, I was in control so far. So if the match is stopped right now, it's mine.
Beste is als we nu naar de grond gaan. Ja. Rust afspoelen. Even ademhalen.
Second round, set for 3. What would they be telling Pieter Buist in his corner between rounds, Dragon?
Good. Don't go to the ground anymore. Stay on your feet.
Simple, okay. And what about Uulu? Do what you'll do.
Do exactly what you did that first time. Get that body lock, drag him to the mat, and put a beating on him. Buist needs to start moving, because inside that clinch, Ruslan is strong, especially when he gets that body lock.
Let's see if Buist can loop those legs upstairs. Maybe a high knee to the jaw, curl it around the side of the ear of Uulu. Emilbek Uulu, who began training in martial arts after 11th grade. Trained in a traditional Kyrgyz martial art that blends wrestling and kickboxing techniques called kulatu. Chance to show some of those kickboxing techniques right now. We saw some of the wrestling in the opening round. Left hook there from Emilbek Uulu.
Emilbek Uulu's having a hard time with these feints. He's really kind of reacting overzealously to these feints thrown by Buist, because I think he was trying to get that. He's deep into a double leg right here. Buist has got to use that overhook he's got on the left side to try to pry him up and not allow Emilbek to drop down. His hands might be locked together, so expect them to start looking for some reaps to try to take him to the left and right. Good job by Buist to utilize the overhook on the left side to keep him up and then dig his right arm underneath for an underhook to now be more of a neutral position. Emilbek's got long arms though, so he's able to still keep that lock. Good separation by Buist.
Southpaw stance on Buist, switches to orthodox now. Can we see some of that Dutch kickboxing come into play from the towering lightweight as he just sticks out the right hand? It stayed on its feet a lot longer than it did in the first round.
Buist is fast, man. He's a giant lightweight, and he's incredibly quick, too. You see how fast that overhand right came?
And that jab just threads it through the guard of Emilbek Uulu. Not seeing as many high kicks, well, as he throws one, as I say it, from Pieter Buist, but not as many as we usually see from Pieter.
Yeah, I think he's trying to limit maybe the kicks just because he doesn't want Emilbek Uulu to really close that distance quick or catch one. The head kick's a good idea just to keep Emilbek Uulu honest.
Left hook from Emilbek Uulu, no follow through though. There's a hook to a right hand from the Kyrgyz fighter. Left hand gets out of the way of the counter leftist Pieter Buist. The Archangel wants a place in the top 5 after having his streak broken. Much better here in the second for Pieter. Has he found his stride in the striking now? Can he maintain it? Can he stay vertical and not go horizontal? 2-5 remaining.
Well, he's doing a good job of getting out of the way of these one shots thrown by Emilbek Uulu, but he needs to answer back. He needs to get out of the way, avoid that strike with a lean back, and then counter. That's what he's really good at. I think he could be setting something up with that, because we've seen that in the past from him.
It looks like Pieter's finally found his distance in the second round, Dragon.
Yeah, he's found his distance, but it's all defensively. It's not really coming back with a lot of offense. And he's got 90 seconds to really start to put it together. I like the use of the jab. I really like to see him start putting that jab together.
He's got those almost Inspector Gadget telescopic arms on him, does Pieter Buist. The way he snakes that jab in. And you're right, Dragon, I'd like to see a lot more come or start from the jab of Pieter. Outside leg there from Emilbek Uulu. Glove up high, protecting the right side of the face from Buist's left hand. Checks the low kick, does Buist.
1 minute left in the second
I think
round.
you're right. I think Buist has figured out the distance of the range of Emilbek Uulu, but he hasn't really done anything with it yet. I think he's still waiting for that moment, still waiting for that shot. It'd be a good idea for Emilbek Uulu to really try to shoot for a takedown here.
Why has he not gone for the takedown attempts as he did so many times in the opening round early?
He only did it once.
In the opening round?
Yeah. He got the one takedown, kept him there.
Yeah, okay, you got me there. So why aren't we seeing more takedown attempts here?
I think he tried early, and Buist was able to defend quite easily, and so maybe that drained a little bit of the energy of him, and now he's just trying to regroup. I really don't know. We're not seeing a lot of shots from him. He's not shooting singles. He's not shooting doubles. He likes the clinch. His best takedowns come from that body lock when he starts looking for those trips.
So again, it may be the range and the distance of Pieter Buist that's made the difference here in the second round. Side kick there from Buist. Final 10 seconds. Don't forget, folks, we are scoring as an overall contest, not as individual rounds. With 10 minutes down and 5 minutes to go from inside the Singapore Indoor Stadium.
Interesting second round. I think Buist figured out the distance and the rhythm, but he didn't really decide to do anything with it offensively. I'd really like to see him step it up here, utilize the leg kick, start punishing him with those leg kicks, maybe go to the body.
Helemaal niks. Zometeen, hij gaat weer jou proberen te schieten. Hij gaat je weer proberen vast te houden. Dus op die afstand wil ik dat je blijft. En een tikkeltje meer volume en hij is weg. Zijn vertrouwen is nu helemaal weg. Blijf in die controle, dat was echt
Just a little bit of damage, a slight hematoma on the right side of the nose of Pieter Buist. Gets a little ice down between rounds. Third and final. Good opening 5 minutes for Emilbek Uulu. Good second 5-minute period from Pieter Buist. Managed to keep the fight on its feet. Can he do so again for the final 5 minutes? Leg check early and returns the leg kick. Jab from Emilbek Uulu, no follow through though. Buist testing upstairs, then goes downstairs, good level change. Goes to the inside thigh of Emilbek Uulu.
Yeah, just like we spoke about during the break, now he's starting to add in the kicks. Now he's starting to look to touch him up from distance. He's got it looks like he has a decent reach advantage, and I'd really like to see him start utilizing it with those leg kicks. Especially if Emilbek Uulu is just going to stand in front of him, because the punches, Emilbek Uulu is defending quite well, but this is what he did in the first. Let's see if he gets it here in the second. Nice takedown. See, once he gets those hands locked, he really has good control, and that's important for Emilbek Uulu. And again, Buist is trying to go after that hand, trying to maybe shove it to the other side or look, because now he's got the opportunity for a triangle, because now his left leg is outside of the leg of Emilbek Uulu. So now if he can shove that arm down, there's a possible triangle for him there.
Go improve your position.
So referee saying to improve the position. The legs are creeping up here on Pieter Buist.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to take that leg, shove it down, look for a triangle. But Emilbek Uulu has to keep his right arm on top of that leg. Do not let that leg come over that shoulder, because that's where the triangle is going to come from.
Head to head, third and final round. 1 foot on hips here from Buist. What is Pieter hoping for here, Dragon?
You can see he's still got the hand. But what that does, that limits the ground and pound. You can't really, unload with your left hand when a triangle is being threatened like that. Now he transitions to the tricep right there, looking for a little bit better control.
How impressive on the judges do you think is this ground control from Uulu at the moment?
I think it's going to prove, it's going to score. I think what it's going to be, and especially him advancing now into half guard. If he works his way into side control and can get past both the legs of Buist, that's going to be ground control. You have to advance your position. It's not really scored in the eyes of the judges as anything more than aggression. If you're on top just punching, you have to work your way up the chain and get into a more dominant position. Because right now, he's being aggressive, he's attacking, but Buist has got a very good guard. So Emilbek Uulu needs to answer this guard. He needs to take that left leg and shove it down so that he can get past. Otherwise, it's just aggression. Now he's trying to elevate the hips. You can see what Buist is doing, getting his legs on the inside of the hips and creating that space, creating that movement. Buist needs to sense some urgency here. He's got 120 seconds to get out of this. He does not want to end like this. Good job by Emilbek Uulu to transition, possibly to the back, had one hook. Good job by Buist to almost get back up.
Knee to the hamstring area there from Emilbek Uulu. 145 remains. Wrenching takedown from Emilbek Uulu. Has the back, Buist back on his feet. Can he wrench him down again?
Yeah, Emilbek Ulu's hard to deal with once he gets those hands locked. Buist needs to lean on some of that judo. He's got a lot of judo experience, and that's what he did right there. He dug those underhooks, utilized the overhook to keep Uulu up top, and also to keep his grip separated, because once Emilbek Uulu gets those hands wrapped, you going for a ride.
1 minute 15 remains now. Can Buist keep it standing? Can he work some of the Dutch Muay Thai and kickboxing? Glances over to his corner, does Pieter. Muay Thai clinch now.
But it's hard to get the space. See how Emilbek Ulu's trying to press him in. Good job by Buist to try to circle off the wall and throw the knee. That was important. Good space created by Buist.
Does the turn of tide happen for Buist now? Back to that striking range he enjoys. The outside leg kick. Emilbek Ulu's breathing a little heavy.
Yeah, that was a lot of energy he expended trying to keep him down and then get him back down. Great job by Buist.
Like to see Buist with those long legs of his crack the quads of Emilbek Uulu a little more. Buist eats a jab. Pieter comes forward, picks up a punt kick. High kick, tries to take his head off.
Buist utilizing that classic Dutch-style kickboxing. Kick the leg a couple of times, get him thinking about the leg kick, and then go up top with the head kick.
The old Pieter Ertz specialty from the K1 days. Emilbek Uulu blowing up a storm. Got a hook and a right hand, another stiff one. Hunts for a final takedown. High knee there from Buist. High kick from the Dutchman. And we are going to the judges. Both men pump their fists in the air. Folks, let us know your thoughts on social media at One Championship. Who wins between the Archangel and Ruslan Emilbek Uulu?
Emilbek Uulu had his moments in this matchup. Pieter Buist was able to figure out the distance on the feet, but didn't quite do enough with it. Here's that takedown. Look at this. He runs him back against the wall, gets the hands locked, and this is where it's so hard to stop, especially when your hands aren't in the right position. He had his hands up high. Emilbek Uulu was able to drive him to the ground, and then to get on top in that half guard position and showcase aggression. He was scoring a lot. The striking superiority may have went to Pieter Buist on the feet, showcasing good head movement. I like those leg kicks there in the end, but it might have been too little too late because the total match is judged as in its entirety, Michael. And that's important to understand that Emilbek Uulu was aggressive in all those different areas.
Buist got to show off some of that Muay Thai in the final round. He does have over 100 Muay Thai bouts in his background before he switched focus to mixed martial arts. And let's go to Dom Lau now to find out our winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of battle, we turn now to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have called this contest in favor of your winner by unanimous decision from the